On this episode of Assessing the Hospitality Industry, we'll be checking out the hospitality industry within Whiterun, located in Skyrim. Now, this is the first episode of Assessing the Hospitality Industry. So what exactly do we do here? Well, what exactly we do is we go from town to town, all across Skyrim in various great lands, determine, is this a place we want to travel to? Is this a place where the hospitality industry is strong? And I want to go here on my leisure time. Like, when my boss finally gives me that vacation I've been begging for, will this destination be worth it? Now, in order to determine if this place is hospitable or not, and if I want to spend my vacation here, I'm grading this based off of 6 points. Now, in no particular order, the first point is safety. Do I feel safe here, or do I get an ominous feeling that I'm going to get stabbed and or shot here? I mean, safety is kind of key, because if I feel like my life is in danger, or if, maybe I'm going to get my money stolen, I don't know if that's a place I really want to travel to a whole lot. The second is beauty. Is the natural scenery beautiful? On top of that, is the architecture beautiful? Are the buildings beautiful? Like, do I have a good site to look at? Or is this town just flat out depressing because everything is so ugly? The third criteria is entertainment. Now, I don't think any city in Skyrim is going to score overly high in the entertainment category. But what is entertainment? Well, it's theaters, it's music, it's festivals. It's basically places for people to go and forget about all their problems. Speaking of places to go to forget about your problems and maybe even forget about a lot more, the fourth criteria is bars and restaurants, which I consider to be different from entertainment as it's more within the food and beverage category. Who doesn't love a good bar and restaurant? Go there, wash away some of your problems with booze, maybe create more problems in the process, but hey, maybe get some good food, and overall enjoy hopefully a good atmosphere and hopefully a friendly staff. Speaking of the friendliness of the staff, my fifth point is the all-around friendliness of people. Like, are people in this town actually friendly and actually, somewhat happy to have two of us around, or at least pretend like they are, or are they just total jerks that treat me like shit? Heck, the most important aspect of this is, do the staff at some of the establishments I'm going to, like the bars, the restaurants, the entertainment venues, do they treat the customers okay? And then my sixth and final point is the accommodations. Like, for example, are there hotels in this town? Is there a place for me to stay? Because if I travel here and there's no accommodations and no place for me to stay, that's a pretty huge minus, because I have very little incentive to actually go there if I have nowhere to stay. Now, much like pretty much every website that reviews hospitality establishments, we're going to be rating everything on a scale from 0 to 5. The maximum amount of points a city can hit is 30, so I guess you can say that's kind of the goal for all the cities to hit, at least get as close to 30 as possible in order to maximize the hospitality. Alright, enough of me rambling, let's get into the city and let's do some surveying. Right off the rip, I clearly noticed that Whiterun has a wall that surrounds the entirety of the city, which, walls are kind of a, complicated subject here in the year of 2025. But here in the Skyrim world, having a wall is kind of huge. I mean, there's a lot of scary stuff out there in Skyrim. All these rabid wolves, all these giants wandering around, all these crazy bandits, all these crazy false realm. Like, having a wall to protect you is a huge plus in the safety factor right off the rip. Upon entering Whiterun, my tavern senses instantly start tingling. I see a tavern that welcomes me right as I walk into Whiterun. I instantly feel welcome, and I instantly go into that tavern. The tavern goes by the name The Drunken Huntsman, and as soon as I walk in, the place is pretty dead. And the clientele here is also a little bit odd. The two patrons that so happen to be here are very odd. One wants me to hire them to be a sellsword, and the other one is just a total dick. There was actually a murder that took place here on the Drunken Huntsman while I was here too, and the safety of the town took a plummet as a result of it. But ironically, the friendliness of the people in that town actually skyrocketed. Kind of funny. Anyway, so that kind of makes the whole situation a scratch, but it's 4:30. I'm going to come back to the Drunken Huntsman a little bit later, during a little bit more prime hours, to give it a little bit more of a chance. One early takeaway from Whiterun is that everyone here, for the most part, is very friendly. Like, sure, you have Nazem, but we took care of him earlier. You're the Battleborns of the Grey Mains that are feuding. But outside of that, everyone in town is very friendly. Even the Battleborns and Grey Mains are friendly for the most part. This chick does talk about a creepy bar that's harassing her, so there might be some business that we gotta tend to. There's also this big beautiful tree right in the middle of town, but the peacefulness with this big beautiful tree gets a little bit skewed by this annoying guy worshipping Talos next to us.
An ass man!
You please just shut the fuck up, dude. I don't really care. I also really like this Solda chick a lot. I mean, you know, she seems pretty cool. I hope I'm a very professional surveyor who's able to remain objective despite her very good looks, very smooth charm, and strong ambition. Now what I do off the clock is totally different. This dude right here also forces me to take a side between the Battleborn and Greymanes. Just to fuck with them, I side with the Greymanes and he instantly scolds me.
I should bash your face in after all you've done.
Now that's 8:05 and more prime hours for a tavern, I head on back over to the Drunken Huntsman to give it a second chance. And I will regret giving it a second chance because the bar is still just as dead as it was earlier today. I mean, the one sellsword is still there, but the other guy's gone because he mysteriously disappeared or something. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, it's still so dead. I mean, no one seems to like this bar in town at all. The owner seems nice enough and he doubles as a salesman, but you know, I don't think I enjoy this bar very much. This bar is definitely in and out. What food people they have here? Some of the weirdest people I've met in town so far. This leads me after going to the only other tavern in town and the only inn in town, the Bannered Mare. For starters, I think it's cool that, you know, this town has two different bars, even if one of them is just kind of a deadbeat place. It's nice to have options. This place is packed too. I mean, everybody from in town earlier is here right now. It's no wonder why the Drunken Huntsman's so dead. Everybody goes to the Bannered Mare instead. I mean, even the local homeless guys here. The service here is good too. I really do enjoy the two service workers here. They even have a waitress that walks around and serves people. I don't have to go to the counter to be served, which is pretty nice. And then went into Micaiah, the bar that's supposedly addicted to the one girl that runs the stand outside. Ironically, she's also here right now. The guy's a total tool bag. I ended up getting into a bar with him and beating the heck out of him. Honestly, this is kind of a minus for entertainment here. I mean, the one form of entertainment we have, because, you know, the one bar, it's kind of a dick. I mean, he seems to be pretty good at his job, but, you know, he's just a flat-out jerk. Harassing women is not cool, Macau. I do like the all-around mood of this place, too. I mean, everyone's here just having a good time, forgetting about all their problems. You can tell a lot of these people here are regulars, and you can tell they genuinely enjoy being here. They even enjoy Macau's music, which I hate to say that he's actually pretty good. The time has now come to rent a room and to stay in this establishment for the night and see how my stay is. The room is quite spacious, which is quite a plus because a lot of these hotels around Skyrim are kind of like closets. The room, however, does lack some level of privacy as there's this nice little balcony out here, which is kind of sick, but it provides a view of absolutely nothing other than the ceiling. There's also no door on the doorway, so, you know, you can probably hear all the noise of the drunk people out there all night, so, you know, that is definitely a minus. Oh, the local homeless girl's even in here having some beverages. Oh, it's so nice of them to let her in here. Wait, she says no one in town is nice to her other than the other local homeless guy. Oh man, this is not a good look for the town. They also better hope that she doesn't get busted underage drinking here, as a local control is going to be up their ass, and this establishment is going to be done for. However, now it's time to fall asleep so I can get on to more adventures for the next day and to come to my conclusion about the hospitality industry in Whiterun. I wake up well rested and ready to hit another day of hospitality throughout Whiterun. I had recently read a brochure advertising a meadery located just out of the city by the name of Honningbrew meadery. I arrived out, and it's a little outside the city, but not so far outside the city it's a different place. The owner is definitely a jerk, and this place is definitely expensive, but what I was going to expect for one of the only two meaderies in all of Skyrim. Naturally it's going to be expensive, naturally the owner is going to be a jerk. Workers also clearly don't enjoy the owner very much at all.
Oh, we're a small meadery.
I've never met someone like him that revels so much in others' misery.
But hey, I'm not here to rank workplace conditions in Skyrim. I'm here to rank hospitality in Skyrim. And overall, I can't dog Whiterun at all for having this meadery because it's only one or two meaderies in all of Skyrim. And honestly, that's a huge bonus point in my eyes. Despite it being expensive and the owner being a jerk, having a meadery here is huge. And if I'm some rich person in Skyrim that's traveling around, this is definitely going to be a point of emphasis for me. Because more than likely, I'm an alcoholic if I live in Skyrim. In fact, more than likely, everyone is an alcoholic if they live in Skyrim. That's how you get through living in Skyrim. Okay, ladies and gents, now it's time to get into the rating aspect of this. Remember, the ratings are very subjective, so some of you might have different thoughts and opinions than me. You know what? That's all good. And you know what? Some of you drop your ratings and reviews below, that way we can compare and contrast our thoughts and opinions of the hospitality industry in Whiterun. In terms of safety, I'm going to give Whiterun a 4.5 on a scale of 5. Overall, I felt very safe the entire time I was here. There appears to be very little crime here, and the presence of the companions is very huge for safety. Probably would have been a 4.9 if not for the two recent events, the Return of the Dragons and the fact that pretty much the entire city is made out of wood and very flammable, and then the Civil War, with Whiterun being a very key location in the war. Still, despite these two events, I still feel very safe in the city. In terms of beauty, I give Whiterun a 4.4 out of 5, and overall, this is a really beautiful city. The big tree in the middle of town is a huge highlight, and the architecture of the entire city, especially the Dragon's Keep, is awesome. There's nothing too special from a natural standpoint outside of the big tree in the middle of town. However, the mountains off in the distance definitely add some extra points to this. Entertainment is only a 2.1, and overall, it's hard to give any cities in Skyrim high points for entertainment. We at least have a bar in Mikhail, but I'm not a huge fan of Mikhail. He's a jerk, although people do seem to enjoy him. And, I don't know, maybe to find a silver lining here, I'm sure occasionally you can watch the companions do something entertaining, like maybe you'll watch them spawn on the back or something, or watch them, they kill a giant, like when you walk into the city for the first time. But overall, pretty boring city from an entertainment standpoint, but I think that's going to be a theme throughout Skyrim. Bars and restaurants, I'm going to give a 4.6. The Bannered Mare was awesome. I'm very biased toward that one. One of my favorite bars, I can definitely see hanging out there a lot. The Drunken Huntsman was a bit of a letdown from the bar standpoint, but it had a lot of good food, which makes sense because it doubles as a hunting shop. You can even cook there as well. The Honningbrew meadery certainly adds points too, mostly due to the uniqueness of it. Having such an establishment compared to the rest of Skyrim is a huge plus for Whiterun. Friendliness to the people, I'm going to give a 3.9. And this is overall a very friendly town, and the Jarl is one of the nicer Jarls you can run into. The service workers in the city are very nice with the exception of the owner of the Honningbrew meadery. However, there's two really big things that cancel out a lot of the niceness in the city in terms of the people. Nazim is one of the worst people you can ever meet in Skyrim. That guy is such a jerk. And most of all, the way they treat the poor homeless girl Lucia. She says the only one that's nice to her is the other homeless guy, and people seem to completely neglect Lucia, when most people in town definitely have the money and the means to help the poor girl out. Heck, she could probably easily be adopted by somebody in town, but everyone ignores her. That's a huge minus. Sure, I'm guessing a lot of people indulging in the hospitality industry in Whiterun are not going to notice this little detail of the little homeless guy being treated incorrectly. However, me as a hospitality surveyor, I have to dive deeper. And this right here is a big no-no for me. And finally, accommodation, I'm going to give a 4.4. And I really like the Bannered Mare a lot. The lack of privacy with the balcony was kind of a turn off, but overall I liked the spot a lot. The room was spacious and the staff was kind. Definitely one of the better hotels you can run and do at Skyrim, I think. Drum roll, please. Overall, on a scale from 0 to 30, Whiterun scores a 23.9. Overall, I really enjoy Whiterun a lot, and I feel as though that it set a high bar for the rest of Skyrim. I would without a doubt indulge in the hospitality industry in Whiterun. Catch the next episode of Assessing the Hospitality Industry of Skyrim, where we shall go to a yet-to-be-named city in Skyrim and go in depth and assess the hospitality industry there. Thank you for everyone for watching, and catch the next episode.